Good afternoon. I go by the name of DJ View, and I'd like to welcome you to TEDxUCO. So if you can, get up on your feet, clap your hands, move your body. You gotta have a good time. Let's go.
Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Don't believe me, just watch.
Take it back. Let's jump on that.
A small town girl
Living what?
She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy,
Where is he born?
born and raised in Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Let's take it to the chorus.
Stop believing. Walk to the beat, yeah. Street lights, people.
Let's get a hand clap.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Don't stop.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, now I'll give you my government name. My name is Stevie Johnson, and I had the privilege of being the coordinator in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for the past 2 years at the University of Central Oklahoma. As a higher ed practitioner and scholar, has afforded me the pleasure of building relationships with faculty, staff, and students across campus, networking with higher ed administrators from various prominent institutions, while also exercising my social and cultural capital to advocate for students who feel as if they don't have a voice. One of the most valuable lessons that I recently internalized is the importance of being true to myself. Outside of my professional career, I'm one of the most renowned disc jockeys in the Midwest region, as you can tell. I'm known around these streets as DJ View. The name comes from my hometown, Longview, Texas, which we call The View for short, and it's a continuous reminder to never forget where I come from and pay homage to the family and friends who helped me get to where I am today. Although an introverted heart, I can admit, DJing gives me the platform to bring out the fun, free-spirited character that most individuals will never see. Over the past 6 years, I've won multiple DJ battles, traveled across the country, and met prominent figures in the music industry. Now you may be saying to yourself, that's real cool and all, but why are you working in higher education? And why did I know you were a DJ? These are important questions, and in the words of Jay-Z, hope to give you this moment of clarity. While in the last semester of my master's program, I was blessed with the opportunity to interview for the coordinator position in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had 3 one-hour interviews back to back to back. I was sweating profusely the entire time. The first interview was with the Office of Diversity and Inclusion staff. The second was with staff members from other student life offices. And the third and most important interview, in my opinion, was a panel of prominent student leaders in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. To my surprise, the student leaders didn't ask a lot of questions about my experience working with underrepresented student populations. Instead, they asked questions lots of questions about me being a DJ. I was shocked. Literally, I mean, here I was preparing for my first full-time job in higher education, and students had researched me, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram stalked, found out I was DJ, and were asking questions about my personal passion instead of posing questions related to the job description. After that interview, I knew UCO wasn't going to take me serious, for the simple fact that my DJ persona overshadowed my skills as a higher ed professional. 5 days later, to my skepticism, I was offered the job. Again, shocked, but also excited and elated that I was finally going to get my start in higher ed. But at the same time, I felt I had to reevaluate myself as a DJ. So as a result, I completed somewhat of a SWOT analysis for my career, and I was pretty rough on myself. I took down photos on social media that I felt could hinder relationships with faculty, staff, and administrators, turned down multiple DJ events that I felt weren't conducive to the image of higher education, and completely stopped DJing college parties, which is where my career started. In a sense, I felt I had to suppress my identity as a DJ. As coordinator in Office of Diversity and Inclusion, about 30 to 40% of my job consisted of mentoring and advising students. The common theme that I would find in our conversations is that students felt they had to fit in a certain box to be successful in college. At times, I felt like a hypocrite or a sellout because here I was empowering them to be their true self, but I in return wasn't doing the same. My life was a mess, and it was completely routine. And I just hated it. I'd wake up, I'd go to work, attend staff meetings, committee meetings, student programs, go home, eat, check my email, watch Netflix. How many House of Cards fans do I have out there? Cool. And then I'd go to sleep. My relationship even suffered as well. There were times when I would come home and not communicate to my wife the things that were hindering my happiness. And she could definitely tell I wasn't motivated and felt helpless in getting me back to the level of self-efficacy that she was used to seeing. But it's a good thing I have great mentors in my life. This past year, I was awarded the Rising Star Professional Award at the National Association for Student Personnel and Administrators. Although excited about the accomplishment, I wasn't completely happy. Because in my eyes, the award symbolized a testament of me learning the culture of higher education in the absence of my individuality. At the conference, I was given the opportunity to connect with a great mentor, Dr. Raphael Moffitt. Dr. Moffitt is the Vice President of Student Affairs at Langston University, and his demeanor is one I've never really experienced. He's what I like to call a cool intellectual. He has swag, the ability to take over a room with his presence, a great code switcher who can articulate himself in meetings and presentations, but also has the vernacular to have informal conversations with students. After the conference, we stayed connected and exchanged information. Well, one day I came across a picture that he posted on Facebook of a beat that he was making with some music production software I was familiar with. I stopped everything I was doing, I picked up the phone, I called him, I said, "Dr. Moffitt, who are you? I didn't know you made beats." That night we talked on the phone for over an hour, and he said something to me that has stuck with me ever since. He said, "Stevie, if you're gonna make it in this life, this world of higher education, you're gonna have to find a balance between work, family, and your passion." I said, "Dr. Moffitt, that's real cool, but you're crazy." I said, "You're the Vice President of Student Affairs with a lot of responsibilities. You have a wife, you have a son, you're involved in the community. How do you find the time?" He said something so simple yet so profound. He said, "I make time." He said, making beats and music production helps him maintain sanity in a crazy and fast-paced world. Every day after that, he would send me a new beat, and I could hear the bass line in the song or the beautiful melodic sample that he had found. He was creating an image of his identity through music production. And the crazy thing about it is that he didn't care what people thought. Not faculty, not staff, not students. He was going to be his true, authentic self. And the beauty of it is that that's what they enjoy. So at that very moment, exactly at that very moment, I was empowered to be my true, authentic self. So this is why I'm here, doing something that I never thought I'd be doing, giving a TED Talk about myself, about how I just so happen to be this higher ed professional who's one of the best DJs on this side of the Mississippi. I'm a big fan, a big nerd of theories. I love the ideas of talking about pragmatism and critical race theory, self-authorship, imposter syndrome, and how those things are reflected in my life. So I said, how can I create a presentation that focuses on my passion and my purpose? So I said, hey, I'll create my own theory. DJ views theories, books, beats, and classroom seats. And it has 3 outcomes: transparency, development, and retention. Books represent transparency. To all faculty, staff, administrators, we have to go out on a limb. See what I did there? We have to go out on a limb and let our students know who we are, where we come from, the things we've endured in our lives, and how we overcame adversity. Many students, particularly students of color, convey how they're not able to comprehend a certain subject or topic in class because the information is just thrown at them, as opposed to figuring out what triggers a student's capacity to learn. The majority of students do not learn through traditional pedagogical approaches, but they do retain people and they retain stories. And if we're able to break down the information for them to understand while telling our stories, then we'll be able to build better relationships with our students. When I teach my classes, I'm an open notebook. I'm honest, I'm vulnerable, and my main objective before anything is to gain the trust of my students. I love the fact when I have office hours and I have a student who comes into my office and just sits down and just talks about life. Not about a paper that's due or an essay or a quiz, just to talk. It makes me realize that they see me as an ally, as an advocate, someone who's gonna show them tough love and give them the real, the raw. That's the idea of being in this service industry, of serving students. How are we asking our students to trust us if we can't even have a formal conversation with them? A lot of students are going through a lot of things outside of classroom. Family issues, mental issues. We have to be transparent and honest with our students that we too have gone through a lot of things in our lives. They want to know that we're human. Books represent transparency. Beats represent development. You know, as a DJ, I have to continue to create new mixes. Did you guys like that mix earlier? Okay. Create new mixes, update my music, listen to trends, and evolve to be the best DJ that I know I can be. It takes patience, hard work, and more patience. It also takes reaffirmation from mentors, which in turn fuels my desire to be positive in uncomfortable situations. The development of our students is the same way. Whether prepared or unprepared for the rigor of college, we have to help with their developmental process. A lot of times in our lives, we too have made mistakes. Despite giving them advice over and over and over again, students are going to continue to make mistakes. We have to be those advocates, those allies who are there to pick them up when they fall. Beats represent development. Classroom seats represent retention. By far, the biggest highlight of my career in higher education has been creating the Black Male Initiative program here at UCO. Prior to the implementation, only about 48% of African American males were being retained after their first year of college. Only 48% were coming back their second year. I had a huge task. With the great help of other faculty and staff members, specifically in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, after our first year, the retention rates of African American males in the program is at 68%. Thank you. But that's not the best part of the story. By being transparent and helping with the developmental process, they too have helped me. I never thought in a million years I'd be going back to school for a Ph.D. Ever. As a country boy from Longview, Texas, first generation college student, single parent household, those guys in that program have helped me in so many ways that I can't even imagine. Retention is the big R word in higher education. The more students that are retained, the more money the university keeps and or saves, and the more likely the student is to graduate. On the flip side, there are very unique individual needs for students, and many institutions function differently to tailor to those needs. Being a DJ is the same concept. The more people that I have on the dance floor, or the more people I have standing up at a TED Talk, the more likely everyone is to have a good time. On the flip side, the way I DJ for a corporate or wedding audience will be totally different from a lounge or a club on a Saturday night. I have to continue to analyze and assess. Everybody loves assessment in here. Analyze and assess my audience at all times. What do they like? What don't they like? When do I need to bring in a certain song? When do I need to talk about a certain subject in class? When do I need to talk on the microphone? When do I need to project my voice so students understand exactly where I'm coming from? All these questions are going through my head in a matter of milliseconds while I'm mixing and blending songs, or someone standing next to me asking about a gig, all while making sure my audience is having the best experience of their lives. And then I realized those same skills are transferable in higher education. We're all DJs in one form or fashion. Think about it, from balancing multiple budgets, mentoring students, meeting with administration, networking with corporate and community stakeholders, all while doing the duties as assigned tasks. Now that sounds like a lot, and it is, but I understand that I have a privilege and an honor that a lot of people, particularly African-American males, don't have. And it's my job to make sure that I empower not only my students, but faculty, staff, and administrators on this campus. So no, DJ Vue's theory is not a real theory, but it's a turntablistic reflection of my identity, my culture, and my desire to create effective change in my community. So I say to all of you, go out on a limb today, and you will see when purpose and passion meet together, how beautiful it is. And you'll remember when DJ Vue talked about books, beats, and classroom seats. Peace.
Introduce myself, my name is
Vue.